Zelda. What more can I say that hasn't already been said? The Zelda franchise is the most critically acclaimed game in the entire world. Critics from around the world have praised the game for its characters, open-world exploration, battle system, sprawling dungeons, mind-numbing puzzles, unique collection of items, tools, and weaponry, and interesting boss battles. When it comes to the later, boss battles usually define the entire dungeon for me. If the dungeon boss sucks, then I felt like I just spent the entire time building up to an anticlimactic boss battles, making me feel like the entire dungeon has been nothing but a giant waste of time. If the dungeon boss is good, then the entire builds up perfectly. This list contains bosses that not only paid dividends, but also went above and beyond. And note, this list is not the best boss battles of all time. This is my opinion, and no one else's. Now this list does have two rules in mind. Only one boss per game, and no Zelda CDI games.
Great!
With that, I'll begin the countdown.
You've killed me!
Number 10.
Good.
The original Legend of Zelda really didn't have any challenging boss battles. Most of the bosses just felt like powered-up enemies. However, there is one exception to this, and that is the final boss, Ganon. Ganon really isn't that tough himself. He just teleports around the room while invisible, shooting balls of fire at Link. Once you ever get his pattern down, or you're lucky enough to hit him 4 times with your sword, you fire a silver arrow at him and you win. What makes this a standout boss battle is simply the atmosphere. You just crawl through 8 difficult dungeons, and Ganon's sprawling Death Mountain lair looks like the shape of a skull. You fought through dragons, demons, skeletons, ghosts, and flying bats, I guess, just to get to this point. There is no way Pig-Faced Ganon is going to stop you, and once you beat him, instant satisfaction.
You've killed me!
Number 9. Windwaker is hated on way too much. Childish graphics? Does this look like something that would be in a child's game? Too much sailing? Well, I never heard anyone rip on Skyward Sword for too much flying. Tingle? Well, yeah, I can't argue that one. However, Wind Waker may take criticism for its graphics. What can't be argued is that its dungeons and bosses were awesome. None of them were as awesome, however, as Puppet Ganon. When I first saw this thing, I knew it was going to be an awesome boss battle. Little did I know, it was going to be 3 epic boss battles, as this boss has 3 phases. It changes from pig form, to spider form, to snake form, each one with its own weakness and strategy. It's like 3 boss battles in one, but it's not. Not only that, but it's not even the final boss of this game. After him is Ganondorf, who also has 3 phases himself. Overall, Puppet Ganon is just an awesome warm-up to a final boss and a great entry in the Zelda series. And if anyone denies it, they're playing the wrong game.
You've killed me!
Number 8.
Good.
Burn from Spirit Tracks, at first, is a giant prick. He ambushes you on the train and steals Zelda's body. So when you face him at first in the Tower of Spirits, all you can think about is sweet, sweet revenge. Burn fires his metal gauntlet at you, but it's easily avoidable. It gets caught on the floor. By controlling Zelda's Metasuit avatar, Zelda can pick it up and pull him down to the ground. What happens next can only be defined as a Zelda beatdown. Ah, satisfaction. Later, Burn gets betrayed by his friends and later becomes an ally to Zelda and Link. Almost makes you feel bad for beating the crap out of him earlier. Almost.
You've killed me!
Number 7.
Good.
Twilight Princess pretty much sold the Wii for me. It was the must-have game of the system, and though I could have played it on GameCube, Wii looked like it offered a better experience. And it sure did. Although the motion control wasn't great at the time, it really did seem to bring you closer to the experience of Zelda. Of all the bosses in Twilight Princess, I unfortunately must give this a tie between Argarok and Star-Lord. Argarok is a metal-plated dragon that hunts you down to no end. That sounds familiar. Argonaut's armor protects its weak point, so naturally the only way to take it out is to remove the armor. This can be hard since he's flying around the arena. The solution? Climb up the pillars to your Argonaut's height, then latch onto his tail and equip the iron boots, which will make him plummet to the ground. Eventually his armor will break off. This starts phase 2 as a thunderstorm will make flying pea hats appear. While dodging Argonaut's flame, Link grapples his way to the back of the beast where he can hook onto its weak point and slash until Argonaut falls. Such an epic duel to the death. Complete with Thunderstorm. Star-Lord, on the other hand, offers a completely different experience. Star-Lord's battle is more fun than epic. Star-Lord towers over you, but he's stuck in the sand. Using your surprisingly useful and surprisingly fun spinning top, you pretty much play pinball with your spinner, only your paddles are the sides of the arena, and the League of the Damned are your bumpers. Eventually, Star-Lord falls, and you think that the battle's over. Not quite. Begin round 2. In this form, Star-Lord fires fireballs at you while you spin at high speeds and attempt to catch up with Star-Lord's head and knock it to the ground and slash it with your sword of Dark Evil. All while jumping between 2 rails, dodging spikes and balls of fire. It's just for pure fun and adrenaline. The whole battle through. Overall, I couldn't choose between one or the other. So just enjoy both of them. They're equally awesome and equally fun. Number 6.
Good.
A Link to the Past for Super Nintendo is usually the game all my friends played as their first Zelda game. I unfortunately had a Genesis, which means that I couldn't play until around 2001 when a friend loaned me his Super Nintendo with this game that I got to play it. The first thing that surprised me was the gorgeous graphics. Second thing was the villain. Angahim may just be an alter ego of Ganon. That doesn't stop him from being my favorite boss in A Link to the Past. He's not hard once you know what you're doing, just deflect his fireballs back at him. Just like with Ganon from the original Legend of Zelda, the standout factor here is the atmosphere. You finally get to the top of Hyrule Castle after all that fighting. And who's waiting for you at the top?
Gary motherfucking Oak!
Okay, not him, but Angahim is a good substitute.
You've killed me!
Number 5.
Good.
The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventure Link, was a departure from the original in a lot of ways. It's often hinted as the Mario 2 of the group. Still a good game, but it feels like it doesn't belong with the others. Overall, The Adventures of Link was a good RPG, and gave some serious Zelda staples, like the Magic Meter, Second Quests, and Dark Link. Dark Link is kind of a surprise battle at the end. After the defeat of Thunderbird, you assume that you're done. This comes as a surprise when Dark Link pops out of nowhere and attacks. Now you can use that pussy corner if you'd like, but real men take their problems head on. Bring it on, bitch!
You've killed me!
Number 4. Ocarina of Time was the first Zelda game I've ever played. When I erupted it on Christmas of '98, I didn't know what to think of it. Turns out I was playing what would become one of my favorite games of all time. Because this game holds such a special place in my heart, it was hard to choose just one boss. So I had to empty my mind and set myself boss to see what would be the first one to come to mind. And that boss was Bongo Bongo. After going through sort of an incredibly creepy dungeon, one would expect a very creepy boss. Well, sort of. Bongo's appearance is very creepy. It appears to be a severed body with severed hands and a glowing piercing red eyeball sewn on. Nintendo had to make it kid-friendly somehow and find a way. Insert one innocent bongo drum. Pure genius. Wait, listen. Carefully. Is it singing? Okay, now it's creepy again. This battle's like fighting your nightmares. Your decapitated head Bongo playing evil chanting nightmares. Any way you look at it, Bongo Bongo is a memorable and strange Zelda boss battle.
You've killed.
Number 3. Holy shit, I have to face this? This thing is huge! Oh, but of course you do. Geox, the ancient soul soldier who guards Muta's temple in Phantom Hourglass, may be one of the largest bosses in Zelda history. He takes up both DS screens! Just to reach his weak point, Link has to spring up using floor pedestals, which expose Geox's wooden frame. Eventually you take him down, right? Wrong. Phase 2. Geox's head starts moving around the arena shooting arrows at you. So you spring up, land on its head, and attack its weak point until it falls. This is one large and complete boss battle. You lower the boss's defenses to start, you take out their legs, arms, and body, and then you blow up the head. Ah. Complete annihilation. Just the way I like it.
You've killed me.
Number 2.
Good.
Skyward Sword may be the best Zelda game I've played since Ocarina of Time. The bosses rank up as some of the best of all time. Unlike Ocarina of Time, I already knew what boss I thought was the best. Koloktos was the most fun I've had in a boss battle in a very, very long time. Koloktos starts the battle mounted to the floor and covering its weakness. To expose it, Link must unscrew both of its no-weapon hands like the whip. Then Koloktos will reveal his weakness, as Link gets close up to him. After a few rounds of this, Koloktos decides to grow a pair of feet. Now Koloktos is mobile and wields 6 swords. Link must entice Koloktos to attack, and once he does, he can unscrew his hands again with his sword. Once this happens, Link can pick up Koloktos' sword and use it against him. While Koloktos runs around trying to ram Link, cough his pair of feet, and wail his weak point with your sword. Rinse, cycle, repeat. Right? Well, sort of. Koloktos doesn't make it easy for you as he goes into rage mode where he swings wildly for about 20 seconds, destroying anything in his path. He can also summon the Legion of the Damned! Eventually, Koloktos goes down, and the good times are over, right? Until you go see the Thunder Dragon. Let's do it again! Before I reveal number 1, let's do a recap. Number 10, Death Mountain's original Ganon. Number 9, No Strings Required Puppet Ganon. Number 8, Burn City Beatdown. Number 7, Argorok and Star-Lord. Number 6, not Gandorf, it's Agrahim. Number 5, he's always behind you and watching you, Darkwing. Number 4, he's not winning any contest anytime soon, Bongo Bongo. Number 3, oh sweet Christ! Number 2, Koloktos.
You've killed me.
Number 1.
Good.
So far, there's been boss battles that have atmospheric boss battles, giant boss battles, fun boss battles, and complete boss battles. So how about all of those themes packed into one epic boss fight? And no, it's not a final boss. Majora's Mask was such a good game. The only problem was the time limit. It seems that no matter what you did, you always had to ask yourself, do I have time to do this? Other than that, and fairy collecting maybe, Majora's Mask was a masterpiece. And the boss that tops them all is Snow Point Temple's God. God is a gigantic mechanical goat that single-handedly continues to cause winter in Goron Village. So much that it actually froze itself. Once thawed, the bull runs around in a circle track. You can take the cheap way out and use arrows, but what fun is there in that? Put on the Goron mask like a man and give chase to that bull. Once you catch up to him, you slam into God and he falls over and gives you time to hammer away at him. As the battle continues to go on, pillars will fall from the ceiling. God will throw bombs at you like a high-speed chase, and even fire beams of electricity to keep him off its trail. You continue to give chase and eventually you take him down. It is one monstrous, epic, atmospheric, fun, and complete boss battle, and my favorite boss battle of all time in Zelda history.